you know Kaido has some big man energy when he straight up laughs at three of our strongest characters pretty much transforming in front of them, charging him, and the only thing he pretty much did when he saw it was laugh. And I'm just like, bro, like, it's so great because when he actually makes the declaration, like, they're like monsters, and he just starts, like, looks like he's freaking out a little bit, and he's smiling. In reality, he reveals that he is the bigger monster, because you see the shading and the imagery of a dragon behind him, which we know Kaido is. It is such an incredible scene for this week's episode of One Piece, episode 1017. Oh my goodness, like, yo, I literally, like, I'm shaking a little bit. It was that good. It was such a crazy episode, because it's like, this is the moment. This is the moment that has been built up for years, like, almost a decade? Like, when did we get in to Punk Hazard? Like, when did we get into Punk Hazard? Because whatever year that started in the manga, technically, or in the anime, is technically... it's been building up since then. This fight with Kaido, with all of our characters going up against Kaido, it's been building up since then. And it is incredible to see Kid, Law, and Luffy powering up to go up against this man. It is just ridiculous. It's emotional, honestly. It's honestly one of the best build-ups, I would say, for a villain in a very long time that I have personally seen. Because Kaido, like I said, he is this entity that has been built up for so long, so many years. And finally, at long last, it's not just in the manga, it's in the anime. And you see the character standing before him and trying to damage this monstrosity, this Emperor of the Sea. It is just unthinkable that we're actually finally getting to see this sequence of events animated in One Piece. But it's not just that. I want to just talk about the sheer emotion, the vibe, the tone that this episode of One Piece gives you. And that is the fact that we know how strong an emperor is. Big Mom, Kaido obviously, but Whitebeard is a good example. Whitebeard soloed pretty much the entirety of Marineford. He was a powerhouse. We know how strong Whitebeard was. And regardless of power scaling and who's ever stronger, like Kaido, Big Mom, Whitebeard, whatever, it doesn't change the fact that we've always seen the emperors, the Yonkos, as pretty much the top. Like, they are insanely strong. To bring them down would require more than just an army. 10 plus armies, more than that. It would be insane to bring them down. I mean, look at how much damage Whitebeard took to be brought down, and he still didn't fall when he died. So it puts in perspective just how strong, like, Kaido and Big Mom are, but on top of that, our three characters, Law, Kid, and Luffy, facing them and bringing out the most they possibly can, but even then, it might not even still be enough. That's what makes the entire sequence so epic, because finally, at long last, our characters are facing the Yonkos, actually fighting them and trying to bring them down. It's no longer building up an army, it's no longer trying to hide and get to the next arc or whatever. It's literally, now they're fighting. There is no coming back from this. It is all or nothing, and it's such a good emotion to see and feel when I watch this episode. It's incredible. Like, the animators that worked on this episode, pay raise, pay raise, pay raise, pay raise. Like, if I could just sling money at them, I would. Like, seriously, they are good. Like, yo, the animators are, they are so good. Like, seriously, I cannot believe this is the One Piece anime. That's what really blows me away about all of this, is that, as I've said in my recent One Piece videos I made, you go back 4 years ago, this was like, you would never have seen this coming. Like, One Piece to look as good as it is right now. I know nobody in their right mind ever envisioned One Piece to look this good, but somehow One Piece right now, it's just, it's animation quality, it's art quality, visuals, voice acting, music, everything. It's not just one thing, it's everything falling into place, like Legos coming together and forming a massive construction. That's what's happening right now with the anime. And it's scary, because it's honestly movie quality. Like, when I look at just this episode, and I look at the One Piece anime, it's movie quality. It is literally movie quality. That's exactly what it is. And that's what shocks me and scares me, because I cannot believe just everything that has been poured into this. They really are giving it the best they possibly can for One Piece. And it's just like, my goodness. My freaking goodness. One Piece has never looked so good. So, where to begin? I want to talk about the barrage of attacks against Kaido, and how this man pretty much took it back to back. He took pretty much all of their strong attacks. He took Luffy's attack, he took Kid's attack, he took Law's attack. He was taking all of the most powerful techniques to the face pretty much, and not really flinching. Yeah, he got a little bit damaged, but overall nothing to really bring him down, because we know Yonkos can take a lot to fall. Once again, Whitebeard is a very good example. So when you just see them all barraging him with all these attacks, and he just still gets up and standing, it's like, that's insane. Like, when he gets hit by Luffy, and you see him, like, flipping in the air and all that, he literally stops himself on the ground to initiate, like, yeah, I'm not gonna fall down on the ground. He stands back up, and he's like, ah, that hurts. But in reality, you know, it probably didn't feel that bad. So it's just like, goodness gracious, just like, what an episode. Then we got some incredible moments with Zoro. Oh my goodness, the Zoro stuff. Like, I love just the way that was done in the anime, seeing Zoro's figure shift into Oden's figure, and it was back and forth while he was basically slinging his sword slash at Kaido. I love that entire sequence because, for one, it's a nice visual, for instance, to show what Zoro was becoming, or what he was in that moment. He was pretty much maybe on the same level, or reaching the same level as Oden, at least with the sword, and then Kaido literally shook a little bit. Like, you can see Kaido got a little bit shaken up about seeing Oden in Zoro. That's what was scary. But then Big Mom as well, doing the call out to Kaido, like, hey, Kaido, you need to dodge that sword or whatever. That's not a normal sword. That puts in perspective, just Zoro was definitely at his all-time peak in that moment, and doing everything he can to bring down Kaido, or at least defend Kaido's techniques, etc. It's so great. It's such a good feeling, and it's such a good episode. There is honestly not one moment of the episode that feels lifeless or still framey. That's what's insane, because it's like, when you go back to previous seasons, like, you know, previous arcs of One Piece before Wano, you'll see a lot of still frames, and this is for any anime. I'm not just gonna poke and pick on One Piece, but for any anime, you usually has some still frames, especially if it's long running, as long as One Piece is. And just to see how there is just such a lack of still frames. Like, really, there's pretty much no still frame. It's continuous movement. It's scary. It's, like I said, it is scary. One Piece is legitimately terrifying from an animation standpoint. Just looking at the artwork and animation standpoint, it is a scary thing, especially because the consistency of this quality that we got this week is something that's been happening every week. It's not just one week in particular. You go back throughout the episodes and you will see for yourself. It's scary. Like, oh my goodness. One Piece, man, it is built different right now. It is literally built different. One Piece it's on top of its game. It is reached the pinnacle right now of, I think, it's ever been since it first started, and I feel like it's only going to get better as we keep going on, because this fight is obviously just started for everybody against Kaido and Big Mom. How'd you feel about this episode of One Piece, episode 10,017? Did you feel that it was better than the manga? Do you think that they succeeded in surpassing the manga in terms of just bringing it to life? Which is always a good thing to say. I love saying that. That makes me so happy when I get to say that. But do you think that Toei is going to be able to remain consistent like this for the rest of Wano? That is honestly the question I wonder after just seeing the consistency so far. Like, something's got to give eventually. There's no way something like this can stay like this forever. There's no way. It's not feasible. Unless they're getting paid so good and they got so many employees. I don't even know. I'm not going to pretend like I know the inner workings, but still, just goodness gracious. Just, I'm going to leave it at that. If you enjoyed the video, by the way, you know, leave me a like. It will help me out a lot. And just shout out to One Piece. Anyways, guys, love you. Be safe. Chibi out.